Fishing for pleasure, fishing for pike. Out on the water, the morning feels right. Casting my line in the soft daylight. Fishing for pleasure.
Somewhere on the Lincolnshire River, first light, you'll find him in pursuit of the biggest, in pursuit of pike. Let's go, troops. Let's have our first 20 of the season. Well, good morning, troops. Another day, another river, and we're out on the big river for the first time this pike season. It's another £30 quest. Still can't get to the middle level because of road work, so it's closed for another week or so. So I'm out the local river. It's a big river, there's a lot of water to cover. It's been unfishable since May. Obviously you can't fish it in May, but once the season's opened in June, unfishable. This is the first time basically since June I've been able to get on this club stretch. Arrived first light, as I always do. Had to put a little bit of gardening work into the swim. The swim was there. There was only room for one, maybe two rods at a pinch. Big river, there's a lot of water to cover. I need 3 rods out there, so 20 minutes, half hour gardening work. Open the swim up nice. I've got 3 rods out there. I've got 3 different baits. There's not a lot of debris coming down, which is good. Don't know what it's like upstream, but if there's a lot of floating weed up there, it's going to come this way. It's flowing nicely this morning. It's got a gentle tow to it, as you'd expect from a low-lying river like this. It's not bombing through, they're not running it off. The floodgates at Boston ain't been opened. There ain't had much rain, but it's clear. It's got the baits in. Gonna do a little bit of raking later on. There's some clear patches. I know where they are at the moment. The right and left hand rod, very clear. Certain angles, certain distances. Middle rod's a bit, there's clear channels, but you know, as you're bringing it in, you hit a bank of weed. So I'm going to clear a channel out there in the middle. Don't want to get a pike on and then bomb, get all weeded up, you know what I mean? Don't want a £30 pike and £20 of weed with it. That ain't going to come in easy, is it? Always the ever optimist. But you know, it's got big fish form. Been hit the last season or two with otters, so it's, you know, they are the big girls here. Plus there's not a lot of coarse fishing been going on all summer. It's been, as I said, it's been unfishable, so no baits going in, so that are the silverfish here in numbers. I've seen some silverfish topping. It's arrow like it, it's overcast, very gentle breeze. set fair for a good day, I hope, and we're going to hopefully we'll make it pay. We're here, we're pike fishing, we're after big uns. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. Why not subscribe for all things fishing? Fish all year round. Pike season for me at the moment. I don't do anything else but pike fishing in the winter. I love it. You know, it's what I was put on earth to do. The wife would say I was put on earth to get on her nerves, but we're here, we're fishing. So 3 baits in. Right hand rod is a paternostered roach, only about that big, off the deck. 9 foot of water there. The paternoster set for 7.5 foot, 7 foot. So it's nicely off the deck. So there's a little bit of flow there to lift it up. Middle rod is half a mackerel, static dead, and the left hand rod is a whole sardine, and that's a static dead. Hopefully, let's say, we'll see some action. Let's crack on, troop. Let's catch some fish. Well, it's been 3 hours now. To me, it's very important to try and change things up, spice things up, do something different. You haven't had anything. About 3 hours casting, different angles, different lengths. So it's time to change things up for me. And what I've done is I've injected some oils and liquids into the baits. The paternoster, I've taken the roach off and put on a smelt. I've got one rod fishing mid-channel, one quarter of the way across, and another one as a margin rod. So I've changed it all up. Also, I've had a little go through with me deeper to see where there's some clear patches in the weed, because I'm about 10.5 foot out mid-channel, 11 foot mid-channel, but in some sections the weed's coming up 3 or 4 foot, so that's important to know. So what I've done is I've put my baits in a position where I know the weed's minimal. The paternoster is absolutely clear, there's no problem with that, and my static dead on the left. That is me half a mackerel. I've switched them around because a half a mackerel is a very tough bait, so I can cast it out a lot further, so I can explore a lot more water. So we've had a good change up, had a good move around, try and spice things up. Now it could be something as simple as moving 2 or 3 swims down or 2 or 3 swims up that brings you a change in the action. You know, I could be sitting here and there could be pike feeding 200 metres, 300 metres away. So my idea of changing it up, as I say, has been to have a good scout around depths, weed, everything, and change things up, boost the baits, and we'll see if anything happens. If I haven't had anything by midday, then all of a sudden you're talking 6 hours without a run, which can happen on here. It's not easy. A lot of people tend to think it is, but it's not. I might reel the rods in and have a little walk up and down stream and see if there's anything catches the old eagle eye. But at the moment, we'll say we've moved things around, spicing them up, hopefully. Let's see if we can catch. You never know. You know, ringing the changes does bring a change of fortune. You know, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, you know. But even something as basic as casting every half hour or so, that's doing something different. You're not just leaving your bait there for hours on end. It's going in the water, it's splashing, it's piquing the pike's interest. So, I say we've had a good change up. Let's see if it works. Well, as you can see, troops, we've moved. Oh, you might be able to tell from yeah, we've moved about 300 metres upstream. Just got to adjust the stop knot on the middle rod. It's about 3 inches too shallow, so I'm just going to adjust that one when I've had a minute to catch my breath. Yeah, I sat in that swim for 5-6 hours, not a touch. I mean, absolutely not a touch. So I've decided to say move a couple of 100 metres up, and the reason I chose this swim is the wind's blowing left to right, so all the floating weed is coming downstream, but it kicks out around this bend and it goes around the far bank, so I'm not going to get as disturbed by the floating weed, so I can keep my baits in the water a bit longer. Someone's raked it out, obviously the centre of the swim, so it should be weed free in the centre, hopefully. Let's touch wood. And I have a 30-40 metres of reed line on my left, 50-60 metres of reed line on my right, so any big pike patrolling them margins, hopefully I can ambush. And I say in the centre, I've just plonked me floating where I know that the pole anglers fish. So if they've been fishing with a pole in here, that should be clear. If they've been piking, they've still raked it like I did earlier, so it should be weed free out there. So yeah, morning session, absolutely diabolical. We're on the same stretch of river, same club stretch, but we've just moved. We've as I said earlier, you've got to try different things, you've got to spice things up. Some people like the roving approach, half hour in a swim and move, keep going. I tend to think sometimes you could be walking away from the fish rather than to them. So when I'm in a hunt for big fish, I like to set my traps and ambush them. But as I say, we've had no luck the first 6 hours of the day. Hopefully the last 6 hours will be, well, it's not even 6 hours now. You see, by the time I've moved and everything, it's 2 o'clock. So realistically, with this overcast weather that I said is my favourite, it should be getting dark about 6, half 6 at the most. So I've only got 4.5 hours. So let me get this stop knot sorted. So I'm fishing hour 1, and then we'll endeavour to catch some pike in the last couple of hours. At the moment, it's not been done too clever, but ain't over till the fat lady sings. Yeah, I can get as many old-fashioned sayings as I can today. Let's crack on, troops. day's drawing to a close pretty damn quick, and I ain't been out to buy a fish today. I've tried everything, every depth, every angle, every bait. I've changed swims, still no joy. I just, not 10 minutes ago, see some fry scattering in the margins just below the reed line, so I couldn't actually see what it was. Don't know if it was a pike or a perch thrashing at them, but yeah, we've had no joy at all. Not a single run. I've just put all fresh new baits on. Left hand rod's got a herring, middle rod's got a sardine, and the right hand rod has got a smelt, and I'm hoping that those bright silver fish like the herring and the sardine glisten down there and catch the eye of something, because it's been a long day. It's been a hard, slow start to the season. We've had nothing big. We've had fish virtually every trip we've been on, but only little bits and pieces. Jacks, we're not getting anything really. It's strange. I'm making excuses all the time, I suppose, that there's no bait been going in here, so maybe the silverfish are not here in numbers, and if the silverfish are not here in numbers, the pike won't be either. But I would expect this time of year on this stretch to have at least half a dozen fish in the day. No guarantee they're going to be any size, but you would get runs and you would get fish. I've not had any, so it's one of those ones where nothing's worked. It's been hard graft. I'll be going to sit down, hunker down, wait for that witching hour, which is not far away. We've got about an hour and a half of daylight left, and I'm hoping we pick up a couple of fish before it gets dark. It's the only thing I can hope for. It's been one of those days. The pike is just not here. If they were here, I'd get runs. It's that simple. I'm very confident in what I'm doing on this stretch. This is my local club water. I fish it 3 or 4 times a week in the winter. And there's nothing. At the moment, there's just nothing. I've got a bit of extra depth out there. It's nice and clear mid-channel. Got about 12, 13 foot there. It's about 3 foot deeper than my last swim. But yeah, nothing. So, and the floating weeds slowly encroaching. It's all on the far bank at the moment. Well, I say on the far bank, from mid-channel to the far bank, it's all floating weed, that duckweed. It's all brown there, it's not green. Slowly flowing down. Really was hoping, but been breaking my neck, itching like a cat on hot tin roof to get on this river this autumn, and it ain't been possible. We've got a whole day fishing on it, and we ain't had a run yet. That's why it's called fishing and not catching. I told you I'm going to get loads of these old sayings in. Let's crack on. It's almost dark. I've waited this long for a bite. I might as well wait until it gets dark. I mean, it's on the cusp now. Now I've got about 15-20 minutes at the most. A very disappointing day all round, really. Wasn't at all what I expected. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can be difficult, this place, but you'd expect one opportunity during the course of the day, and we ain't had that. Not even close. Been nothing at all to speak of. Yep, it's sometimes the anticipation and the waiting doesn't live up to the older hype, does it? You know, you get your session and bosh. Looks like we've got our first blank under the belt. But I've known it to really kick on now and go potty. So I'm hoping against hope that something puts in an appearance and something big. But at the moment, it really looks like it's going to be well, it ain't even a slow drudge home. I'm only 5 minutes away, but you know, it's I really was hoping for something special today for you, troops. So I'm really apologies. We ain't had a thing, but that's fishing. Sometimes it happens, and then we've got our first. Looks like we're going to get our first blank of the winter, autumn under our belt. So if we don't catch anything else, or we don't catch anything at all, thanks for watching. It's been a short and sweet video, really. You know, not much happened today. We tried our best, but sometimes all the will in the world, if the pike are not in front of you, you're not going to catch them. Thanks for watching, troops. I really do appreciate it. And obviously, if I have anything, it'll be tagged on after the end of this. So you never know. If I do catch one, I'll have to put a picture of it on the thumbnail, so you know I've actually caught. You get to this point and sod it, you ain't caught anything, turn it off, and then the last 2 minutes of video is a 20-pounder. You never know. So let's crack on. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the bank real soon.